In our previous example, we created a theme setting and then altered our page.tpl.php file to include a subheading inside of the content. Within that page, we use some logic that would be better suited for a template.php file. And so what we're going to do in this video is pull out that logic from the page.tpl.php file and put it in a template.php file. To begin, go ahead and jump to your resource pack directory and go ahead and copy the 11th step, which is called template.php move logic over. Then we're going to go ahead and paste it inside of our theme directory. Again, that's sites all themes bat. And then let's rename it to template.php. Okay, and go ahead and open it. So the logic that's currently inside our page.tpl.php file that we want to pull out of the template file is where we use the function themeGetSetting. That's better used inside of the preprocess function inside of template.php. Because we're dealing with the page template, the way we'll structure our preprocess function name is like so. We begin with the theme name, which is bat underscore preprocess underscore page. And then we pass it a single parameter, which is the variables variable. And we're passing it by reference, which means that any changes that we make to this variable inside of this function get passed through to outside of the function, meaning we don't need to return any value from this function. In it, all we're doing is setting up a new variable inside of the variables array, and this variables array gets passed to the page template file. And we're grabbing our setting that we set in a previous step, bat subheading, and we're pulling it out using the themeGetSetting function. Now when we change the page.tpl.php file, what we're going to do is remove this themeGetSetting part and replace it with the variable that we just set. Okay, go ahead and make sure that your template file is saved. And let's go ahead and complete this by adjusting the page template. Go ahead and jump to your resource pack directory and open up the 12th step, which is called page.tpl.php logic removed. If you haven't already, go ahead and open up your page.tpl.php file. I'm going to do that now by jumping to my theme directory and opening up the page.tpl.php file. Now copy the entire code that's in the step file and paste it over the code that's in your page.tpl.php file and save it. Next, go ahead and do a search for subheading on the page to jump to the change that we made. It looks like it's on line 102. And what we've done here is replaced any instance of themeGetSetting with the variable name that we set inside of our preprocessing function. Now notice that we're using a direct variable and not an element of the variables array. So if we jumped back to our template.php file, you'd see that inside of here, we're defining bat subheading inside of the variables array. But as part of the process of moving these variables into the template file, every item inside of it gets pushed into its own variable, at least at the top level. So bat subheading, instead of being part of the variables array, now becomes its own variable. Let's go ahead and jump back to the page template file. So we still have the check to see if it exists, and if so, we're going to go ahead and print a wrapper around it. So h2 here and h2 here, and then we're just going to print the variable inside. And then we're going to end the if statement here at the end. Okay, let's go ahead and check if this works. Now, because we've made an adjustment inside of our template.php file and we've added a preprocessing function, we'll need to rebuild our theme registry. So go ahead and jump back to your browser, and let's go ahead and flush the caches. And once it's done, we still see our subheading here below, which means that our variable is being added inside of the template.php file and then rendered inside of our template file as well. So everything seems to be working right.